From being burned alive to being dismembered and even exploding after giving birth.
I'll do it right now.
Here are the most painful deaths in Rick and Morty. Buckle up, folks. This is going to be a grim one. Next to some of the other things on the list, this one looks like it may as well have been out of a kid's show. But still, it must have been painful to go out like that. Rick C-137 spent decades, and I mean decades, tracking Prime down.
Whoa, you found me! I shoot the first monitor too.
And all that pent-up rage came out when he finally got his hands on him. With a little help from Evil Morty, that is.
Shitty, Grandpa.
When they both finally cornered him in Unmortricken, it turned into a brutal showdown. Easily one of the nastiest fights in the entire series. Even with their genius brains and weaponry put together, they barely managed to overpower him.
Oh, original grandson. This is super weird. Obviously, we're both trying to kill each other.
Evil Morty tied Prime down and gave C-137 the chance to go at him while he destroyed his backup clones, making sure he wouldn't be coming back anytime soon.
Okay, seriously, what is this? What are you gonna odd-geez me to death?
Rather than pull out one of his many weapons, like a particle beam, wristwatch, or maybe just a gun, Rick C-137 decided this one was personal and beat the guy to death with his own fists.
But eventually, you did! You lived in my house!
Gotta say, one of the more satisfying deaths in entertainment.
How's it feel? Better? No? Exactly the same? Yeah, it always does. Hope you're happy with your choice.
Fuck off.
Prime was so stubborn though. He never admitted defeat and spent his dying moments mocking Rick.
I made you. I showed you infinity. And what did you do with it? Hang out with my grandson? Raise echoes of my daughter?
He refused to even flinch from C-137's punches and didn't show how much pain he was in at all. It was so petty that he told him how he spent his life living in Prime's house with his family.
You lived in my house!
But I just know that shit hurt. This would have been brutal for Prime, being slowly beaten to death. Every punch adds up. The first few were probably bearable, but as they kept coming and wounding him, they would have kept getting more and more and more painful. After a point got too unbearable, his body must have gone into shock. But even that wouldn't knock him out right away. He was still conscious while his system shut down. So the whole time, he was probably in his head thinking, just wait till I come back in one of my clones. You'll be sorry then.
Frying my backups. Smart. So you're like an evil Morty. A clever one. Ow!
Even though he knew Evil Morty fried his backups, maybe he had some super secret backup which Evil Morty also destroyed. He was dead as a doornail. So yeah, compared to being cut into pieces or eaten alive, this one was kind of tame, but by real world standards, it's pretty brutal. Just like getting turned into a wasp baby incubator. After Rick died by crashing his spaceship,
Give me the whip, Morty! God damn it!
his hologram popped out and told Morty how to bring him back.
I'm a crisis detection and correction hologram generated by a chip that real Rick put in your spine.
But the kid had stolen one of the Fulbodulon crystals that showed someone how they'd die.
I see you appear to be holding a death crystal that's guiding your decisions more than I am. That's your right.
One of these possible deaths was with Jessica as an old man.
Oh my god. Jessica. Oh.
And so Morty was too obsessed with that possibility to do anything about bringing Rick back.
Not cloning your grandpa has got to go.
Don't get out of my face. I'm gonna flush Rick's DNA.
All right. Okay, regroup, everybody.
Honestly, yeah, I'd probably do the same. Fortunately, Rick still found a way to come back.
What happened? Where's my body?
Oh, you're gonna love this.
That said, he reincarnated in some pretty weird dimensions, more than a few times at that.
Whoa, way to use up a clone. What the fuck, man?
In one of them, he and Morty were literal Nazis.
By the way, knowing that I even have to ask, But you are down with fascist dystopias, right? Yes.
And in another one, he found a wasp version of himself and his family.
We eat our prey alive, and when we don't, we lay our eggs in their eyeballs so that our young can feast on their brains when they hatch. Now come have dinner with my beautiful family.
But they were really nice. They got along with each other, better than the real Smiths even.
Morty, are you done with your homework?
Not all of it.
Sorry, Dad.
No, don't be sorry, sweetie. We're all in this together. We're wasps, not monsters.
So Wasp Rick helped him out, along with Hologram Rick as they went after Morty.
I can't see my own death. How am I gonna die?
Shh, quiet, idiot, quiet. It's gonna be all right.
But then Hologram Rick betrayed them.
Fuck! I can feel! I have mass! I'm a fucking god now! You're fucked!
Wasp Rick stung him in the eye and laid eggs inside him.
Shit!
Disgusting. At least he didn't have to be alive very long after that. How much would this hurt in real life? Bit tricky to answer that, since something like this hasn't ever happened to a human. Thank God for that.
There's a lesson here, and I'm not the one that's gonna figure it out.
See, our species isn't considered ideal for wasps. Our body temperature doesn't allow it, and as I said, thank God.
Morty, we saw you on the news. Are you okay?
But people have been stung on the eyes by these creatures, and let me tell you, that really hurts. The whole eye swells up and can even take permanent damage. As if swelling and intense pain weren't bad enough on their own, then there's also the chance of getting infections and becoming blind. And then if you really could have wasp larvae eating you alive from the inside out, then yeah, it kinda goes up another level. But still, like getting a bruise compared to what Alexander from Anatomy Park went through. Rick had sent Morty into Ruben's body, where he built Anatomy Park.
Hey, Dad, where's Morty?
He's busy. Morty, can you hear me?
Morty had barely gotten acquainted with the rest of the guys there when, suddenly,
Ruben's got tuberculosis.
Oh, great work, Morty. Okay, I'll just cure it and then... Okay, well, I can't cure death.
Ruben died. He had to team up with the rest of the Anatomy Park crew and find a way to get out of there.
How's this for a burning sensation?
One of the Anatomy Park workers, Poncho, opened fire on tuberculosis.
Not faster than a bullet!
No! Do you know what you've done?
While they were in the man's lungs, may I add, which made him cough, creating a vacuum which lifted Alexander.
Don't let me die! You're not gonna die! What's your name? My name is... Alexander!
Morty tried to save him and grabbed his hand, but then Ruben coughed again, and this time, the force of it yanked Alexander away so brutally that his body was ripped into pieces.
Oh, dear God!
Alexander got coughed up in Rick's face. Seriously, it was like watching an onion's layers get peeled off. Ugh. First his skin, then muscles, and then his bones broke away. But hey, it was pretty fast. Around, 2-3 seconds for the man to completely disintegrate, so there is that. But overall, terrible way to go. Poor Alex. What would that feel like? In one word, brutal. Lungs can actually shoot out air really fast, like 50 plus miles an hour. Really intense hard coughs can actually rupture blood vessels and cause some serious damage.
Whatever you do, do not fire that thing in here. We must save Ruben.
What happened if a force like that was put on your body? Exactly what we saw poor Alex go through. His eyes, ears, and lungs probably ruptured before he could even process what's happening. It would feel like being vacuumed through a jet engine. And you know, add in pressure waves and vacuums and all that, it's a messy way to go, but still, put his death third on this list because as bad as it really was a pretty quick death, only a few seconds. I'm sure the woman whose face got torn off would trade places with him in a heartbeat if she could. Rick had nothing left to do. He just defeated his arch nemesis in the previous episode,
Need me for any adventures?
Huh?
Adventures? Remember those?
Oh, yeah, not right now, Morty. Definitely next week, though.
So Morty tried to lift his spirits by cashing in one of his Morty adventure cards.
Nudge by cashing in a few of these bad boys!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're still doing the punch card system?
Never stop!
You know how well those go in the show. Rick saw how many of them there were and assumed Morty was faking stamps.
Isle of the Morty Sores? Takes one to know one?
I make up titles for each adventure.
You did the same thing for that MS readathon at your school, Morty, and you didn't read shit.
It's okay to lie when you're fighting multiple sclerosis.
To clear things up, he called in a neutral observer. Sure, he knew everything, but he turned out to be really, really annoying.
Okay, this guy might have been kind of a mistake.
He's really, aggressive.
He's steamrolling us. He thinks he's hosting a fucking clip show.
The observer kept playing embarrassing memories of everyone in the house and turned the whole episode chaotic. It's just Twitch streaming IRL, but
Get out of here!
Sidewalk's public property, bro. I can observe all I want from here.
This isn't our problem, Dad. Please make this loud thing go away. Yeah.
for Rick and Morty and somehow worse. One of them, however, was more scary than embarrassing. It was a time when clothes became sentient and turned into bloodthirsty beasts.
At least this is better than cars. Cars can run you over. Okay, no, this is worse.
That woman's face was torn off and worn like a mask by the jacket. Kind of like Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre used to do to his victims. Or the real-life serial killer Ed Gein. Let's think for a minute about how much that would hurt. The answer, as I'm sure you've come to the same conclusion as I have, is pretty damn bad. The face is one of the most sensitive, nerve-dense areas of your entire body. So many of your senses are stored there: sight, hearing, taste, and all of it is incredibly, incredibly delicate. Tearing the face off would rupture arteries, veins, and capillaries. The woman probably sprayed blood everywhere and went into shock within seconds. The skin must have torn off in ragged chunks, muscle detached from bone, possibly exposing the navel cavity, jawbone, eye sockets, teeth. Either way, you're gonna end up with extreme nerve trauma. I can't even imagine this. And it's even crazier to think this kind of stuff has happened in the real world. The person doesn't always die right away. They can stay alive for a few minutes, which are usually spent screaming, completely understandable, or trying to do just that, until the shock shuts them down. People who have survived stuff like this really wish they hadn't, and describe the pain as beyond imagination. Now, let's take a look at the time some dead-eyed children disemboweled a leprechaun. Interdimensional cable had some gems.
I just upgraded our cable package with programming from every conceivable reality.
One of them being the commercial for strawberry Smiggles.
I love me strawberry Sniggles. Ooh, I hope nobody ever gets my hands on me and tries to steal my strawberry Smiggles.
It looked like any other cereal on Earth, complete with a mascot and all. At the start of the commercial, we saw Tophat Jones, leprechaun, enjoying a bowl of strawberry Smiggles. And he was weirdly possessive over them too.
And then they'll be in my stomach and nobody will ever be able to eat them, except for me, because they're gonna be all inside my stomach.
He thought if he ate them all, no one else could have them because they'd be in his stomach. That'd be the end of that. Oh, you poor naive soul. Seriously, he underestimated the lengths some people would go to for strawberry Smiggles. He dug into his bowl and finished all of them, thinking that he'd finally gotten them all safely away from anyone who would want to steal them from him.
Oh, now they're all resting comfortably in my stomach. Ooh, am I feeling good? No!
But then, yeah, two children just came up to him and things got dark real fast.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! It hurts!
These kids looked weird right off the bat. I mean, look at their eyes. They've seen things, been addicted to things, maybe zombies, just a bit of a horror show to begin with. And they really wanted the strawberry Smiggles. The fact that he'd eaten them already didn't slow them down at all.
Save me! Take me to the light! Oh my God, I see demons! I see demons!
They tied him down with tape and got to work. One of them lifted up his shirt and cut Tophat on his stomach horizontally with a knife. The gash opened up all his internal organs, and then they dug in with their bare hands as if it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. Tophat Jones looked on in horror and yelled in pain as they devoured all the strawberry Smiggles, not caring that they're covered in stomach acid and blood.
My entrails are out! Why would you even want to eat these? They're soaked with my stomach acid! Oh, Jesus Christ!
Sheesh. It's almost like they waited for him to eat them because they wanted the stomach acid and blood to flavor them. Because why couldn't they have just come up to him before he ate them all and stolen the box?
Hey, that's a pretty, that's true. That's right.
Yeah.
Being disemboweled is one of the worst ways to die. Tophat was completely conscious the whole time and felt the whole thing. Intestines have nerves, blood vessels, and pain receptors, and having them clumsily torn out the way those kids did has got to be unimaginable pain.
And spirit, save me, take me to the light!
It also would have been hard for him to breathe properly. We also know his body didn't go into shock and numb the pain because he told us how bad it was.
Jesus Christ, it hurts!
Stomach acid is extremely harsh. It's bad enough to damage metal. And judging by the way those kids were going at it, it must have spilt onto his other organs and burnt them too. Even without stomach acid, those organs must have started drying out and burning from exposure to air because they aren't supposed to be out in the open like that. They were being tugged and torn and yeah. It's probably just as painful as what happened to Mr. Goldenfold in this next one on the list. Okay, I know I already mentioned one death from this episode, but hear me out. This one had two worth mentioning. After Rick finally finds a version of himself who's down to help him get back to his universe and into his own body...
Hail... Wasp Hitler? What? What the fuck? Where's that shit coming from?
He sits down with the alternate Smith family to eat. The Wasp Smiths sat at the dinner table just like the regular family would. Until dinner was served. Because the meal wasn't food at all. Not to us, of course. To them, must have looked like fresh pot roast.
Oh God! Kill me! Please kill me!
It was Mr. Goldenfold, Morty's math teacher, barely alive and served on the platter like a full English breakfast. And he was an insect they were all about to feast on. Just like those little kids gutting Tophat Jones all over again. Wasp Rick explained to C-137 Rick that wasps prefer to eat their prey alive and lay their eggs inside the victim's eyes so the larva could burrow into their brain and feed. And that's really how it goes. He was not exaggerating. Nature is, sure something. Wasp Beth drizzled acid onto Goldenfold as he writhed in pain as a seasoning before taking a bite out of him.
Can you pass the acid?
It's crazy to think that this is actually what wasps do with their prey. Thank God humans are at the top of the food chain.
Guess I don't have it as bad as I thought.
He was kept alive while the wasps tore into his flesh, meaning every nerve was still firing as their jaws ripped muscle from bone. The acid seasoning Beth poured on him would have hurt like crazy, probably 3rd-degree burns minimum. The worst part came when eggs were laid in his eye sockets. The pressure of lava forcing their way into the brain sounds like something straight out of a Cronenberg movie. And not to mention just insanely painful, never mind horrifying as a mental image. But hey, not as mentally scarring as killing your own sister. This one wasn't physically painful, certainly not brain-eating lava anyway, but it is certainly hella traumatizing. It's probably the most of, not one of the darkest moments on the show. Rick took Jerry to the Immortality field resort after Morty told him he was afraid his dad might be suicidal.
Told Morty, look, parents get divorced, they get sad, he'll be fine, but I think he's worried you're gonna, you know.
He hadn't been taking his split with Beth too well, and Rick thought he could use some cheering up.
Jerry, come on, we gotta go, you gotta come with me, Jerry.
But the assistant general manager of the resort, Risotto Groupon, had some old beef with Rick. Apparently, Risotto's kingdom had been overthrown by enemies, and Rick was the guy who gave them the weapons they used to make that coup happen.
My kingdom was usurped by force, with weapons and technology supplied by your father-in-law.
Hey, he usurped my kingdom too, man. He basically got me kicked out of my home, stole my family.
In his efforts to kill Rick, he switched off the immortality field, and that might not seem like a big deal, but keep in mind, people here would kill each other for fun and then just get back up.
Someone
My friend.
Which is exactly what a little boy was doing when he shot his sister.
Leave that?
She actually died. I can't even begin to imagine what that boy would go through. I mean, 1 second he's doing harmless kid stuff with his sister. Okay, harmless kid stuff. Relative to Rick and Morty. And the next thing you know, she's dead. It's not like the immortality field had some scheduled downtime either, so everyone would know. It just came out of nowhere. The pain of losing her would be terrible enough on its own, but let's be real. This kid is gonna blame himself forever for what happened. The kid actually made an appearance one more time when we saw Bird Daughter in jail. It was in the post-credit scenes of Returnal Friendshine of the Spotless Mort. If you look closely, he was there in the back, much more grown up now, but definitely the same kid. On the right, in the back, it's totally him. I don't know if he was serving time for killing his sister accidentally or changed the trajectory of his life, leading him to a life of crime because he couldn't live with himself after what happened. Now let's look at the time Pickle Rick showed everyone who was boss. Besides that nasty business with the rats.
Yes, yes, yes! Come on, come on, come on, fresh, fresh, fresh!
Pickle Rick caused a pretty hefty amount of damage. After killing a bunch of rats and making it out of the sewer, he found himself in a high-security compound with Russians who tried to kill him.
Hey, it's cool. Just need to find the nearest exit. Whoa, 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 no need to freak out.
Somehow, he didn't let his new form slow him down at all, and he took them on like a pro, killing a bunch of them in some pretty creative ways. He set up a trap, which 2 of them walked right into. The floor was demolished, and underneath were a bunch of pencils, all upright. They fell and were immediately impaled on the pencils. Chances are they didn't die right away. The sharp end of the pencils went right through them, meaning repeated tearing and trauma across skin, muscle, and maybe even bone. They did fall on them with all their body weight, so it's entirely possible. Not to mention their organs, which were also probably hit with the impact. Every pencil probably severed nerves and blood vessels, putting them in a lot of pain, all the while they're also bleeding out. In short, immediate, searing nerve pain, rapid bleeding, and a fast slide into shock and organ failure. Most likely they had to experience the most excruciating pain for several minutes, all while trapped in a very humiliating and just generally excruciating position. Man, I would not mess with Pickle Rick, memes aside. He's even more savage than regular Rick. But hey, at least they died with their balls intact. Not like Oxygen S. Right, I need to get my dramatic voice ready for this one. In Rise of the Numbericons, the movie, a really dumb Transformers parody, we saw letters and numbers fight an intergalactic war.
Father!
Son, take this thing. It's a prophecy or some shit. I'm dying. Peace.
Oxygen S was part of the heroic alphabet team. Everything went sideways when he absorbed the Eye of Harmony, a powerful artifact that was supposed to bring balance. Instead, just drove him mad with power and turned him into infinity. It was pretty much a monster.
The ultimate power of the universe is finally mine!
He became the major threat in seconds, more powerful than ever before, and turned against the others, totally ready to wipe them out.
Infinity's gone mad with power. He's killing everyone. And every 2, and every 3, and every...
We get it!
But then Magma T stepped up.
Arise, King Magma T.
He grabbed the Eye of Harmony and decided there was only one way to stop Infinity for good. Didn't aim for the head or the chest, but went straight for Infinity's groin and fired.
My fucking dick! Thought I was lying, motherfucker!
The shot was so powerful, it killed him right away. I can't even imagine how painful this must have been. We all know how a kick to the balls is enough for a guy to feel his soul leave his body, but a gunshot? Empowered like that? No way! It's gotta be one of the more excruciatingly painful ways a person can die. The groin is one of the most sensitive places in the body. It can carry extreme pain signals straight to the spinal cord and brain. The testicles can literally rupture or explode on impact, and right behind the groin are major arteries like the femoral artery. If a bullet hits that, you'll bleed out in under a minute. Your body goes into neurogenic shock from the pain and hemorrhagic shock from the blood loss at the same time, meaning your system basically shuts down in agony while you die. Severe trauma to that region can actually be so bad you can die just from the pain itself. Having no bones, on the other hand, wouldn't be bad enough to kill you, at least not straight away, but it's bad enough to make you wish you were dead. If there's one Rick and Morty character who scares the crap out of me, it's definitely Retconned.
His name is retconned. He has the power to make things always have been other things.
I think that's called retconning, but his name is Retcon. I think Rhett's a name too. His name could be Retcon.
This guy had literal god tier powers. I mean, his name is a pun on retcon, and I wish I was exaggerating. He'd had the power to not only change reality, but also change the past. He could make it so that anything could be any way.
There's never been anything outside this fortress.
God damn it!
As long as he wanted at that as well. His powers were so insane that he was kept in a prison covered in sports imagery because they only worked on plot elements.
They got him in a cell made out of sports because it's the opposite of story.
He was held there by the self-referential Six, but was released when Rick let him out.
You can rot in there.
Rick!
You know what, Rhett? Forget what I said. We've always been friends.
Good one.
He killed continuity error by retconning her weakness to be death by coffee.
You always were able to be killed with coffee.
Then retconned Mr. Twisty to have been born without bones.
The twist being...
You were born without bones.
Yep. So much worse than death by coffee. Here's why that sucks. Not having bones anymore would rip away the body's structure. Every bone vanishing all at once would be pure agony. All of Mr. Twisty's muscles and tendons would snap because they're attached to bone. His spine and hips probably collapsed, twisting and crushing his whole body's nerves. That on its own would cause blinding pain and paralysis for sure, since you've got nothing to move your body with now and the main structure is just gone. It might not even have stopped there. Without bones holding everything in place, his insides would tear or at least sag and droop. Major blood vessels would rip open, causing massive bleeding in seconds. And of course, on top of that, you can just sort of crush your organs under their own weight because nothing's holding them in place anymore. It's damn grim. To make matters worse, the psychological torment of it always having been that way, the poor guy could probably remember nothing except blinding pain. I, for one, I'm glad Retcon never showed up in another episode because I actually don't want to see what else he can do. It'd probably be a lot worse than burning people alive. Multiple times we saw people in Rick and Morty die by fire. One of them was when Morty went full beast mode in a Rick Convenient Mort, after finding out from Planet Tina that he couldn't be with her because of the Tina-Teers.
We are about to close deal. We cannot afford controversy.
Don't you worry. I know how to deal with this Morty kid.
They didn't care about her at all, didn't want her to be happy. Instead, they planned to sell her off to a Saudi when they found out she'd been seeing Morty.
Which one of you ordered a pizza?
No one ordered pizza. What is this?
Well, I got a cheesy Italian, extra crispy, just for you.
Morty disguised himself as a pizza delivery man and went into their office, killing all of them, out of which 2 he burned alive.
Fire! Now we can be together, Planet Tina.
Till this episode, I did not know Morty had it in him. Later in the episode, Planet Tina confronted a group of miners and then unleashed a powerful blast of fire on them and killed them in a similar way.
Oh my god, no!
How painful would it be to go out like that? Burning to death is one of the most painful things imaginable. The moment the fire hits, your skin blisters, peels, and exposes raw nerves. Every nerve is firing at once, so it's like your entire body is screaming. You try to breathe, but the air is so hot it scalds your throat and lungs, so every inhale feels like swallowing fire. Second-degree burns feel like boiling oil. Third-degree burns destroy muscle and fat. Before the nerves fry, you feel every single millisecond of it. But even then, I think being dismembered is just as terrible. We saw someone get horribly dismembered at least 2 times in Rick and Morty. Once in Season 5, Episode 10, when Rick dismembered one of the owl bandits with his crow friends. And then more famously, Miles Knightley from Season 4, Episode 3, the heist artist.
Why don't we make things interesting? I challenge you to heist the crystal skull of Horowitz. In a heist-off!
Miles challenged Rick to a heist-off, at HeistCon no less. He double-crossed Rick by recruiting Rick's own crew and claimed he already stole the crystal skull of Horowitz.
With Rick Sanchez on my team, I'll be unstoppable. Rick, welcome to Knightley's 9.
When the skull ended up missing, Rick revealed he outsmarted Knightley and used his robot Heistatron to hypnotize the entire convention crowd. In the chaos that followed, Rick ordered everyone to steal everything at HeistCon, including Miles Knightley himself.
Yes.
Your next big score? Steal every square inch of HeistCon.
He didn't know how badly it could go, and the guy was brutally dismembered alive.
Hey, that's my wallet. Oh my god, Jesus. Oh my god. Oh, fuck.
Moral of the story, don't try to outsmart Rick. Dismemberment is one of the worst ways to go, and real medical cases back that up. The second a limb gets ripped or cut off, major arteries are torn open and you start bleeding out instantly. At the same time, every nerve in that area fires off like an electrical storm, so the pain isn't just sharp, it's full body, mind-shattering agony. Your body goes into 2 kinds of shock at once, one caused by pain overload and the other by massive blood loss. Your organs start failing, you can't think, you can't breathe properly, and there's no chance to recover. And if it happens violently or slowly, like being pulled apart, the pain lasts even longer before you finally pass out. That's why experts say dismemberment isn't just deadly, it's one of the most physically and psychologically horrific ways a human can die. Go look up being drawn and quartered if you really want to spoil your evening meal. But something even more horrifying might be exploding inside out. In Rip Mirai Jack, Rick was fighting the owl bandits at the start of the episode.
Give it a second. Maybe he's taking it out to surrender.
They were baffled at his strength. He fought off all of them thanks to the 1,000 crows he had backing him up.
I don't understand.
He's only one man!
With the power of 1,000 crows.
He killed all 3 of them easily, but one of them suffered way more than the other 2.
Good luck.
That looked like it must have hurt. The crows just flew straight into his mouth and kept going till his stomach swelled up like a balloon and he straight up exploded. Was that Charlie in the Chocolate Factory scene where the little girl turns into a blueberry?
What's happening?
Well, I told you I hadn't quite got it right, because it goes a little funny when it gets to the dessert.
Only she stopped expanding before she died. Unlike this guy. I can't think of a real-life example to compare to this, but it might be something like eating till you literally die. But getting force-fed until your stomach literally exploded would be so much worse than just overeating, in inverted commas. Those of you who've ever had your stomach pumped know exactly what I'm talking about. It all happened so fast, the owl bandit had 0 time to adjust. Instead of soft food, he was being crammed full of solid mass, so the pressure would start crushing his other organs almost immediately. The pain would be unreal, like full body internal torture. He'd go into shock from both the pain and the internal bleeding at the same time. And then the grand finale, his stomach finally bursts open, causing total abdominal rupture. And the whole time, he probably couldn't breathe or even cry out in pain because he had crows just slamming down his throat. That's horrifying. Now for the final entry on my list. Glorzo's awful birthing process. This one hits a little too close to home, so I kept it for last. In Prometheus, a pun on the Alien franchise's prequel movie, Rick and Morty came across facehugger Glorzo parasites when their ship crashed into an alien temple.
Whoa, Morty, look how wet this egg is.
Seeing where this one's going, Alien fans? The second they stepped out, these face-hugger-looking parasites latched onto their faces and took control of their bodies.
All is Glorzo!
God!
They didn't even realize it happened at first. They straight up lost their memories while the Glorzo used their bodies to build an empire and an advanced society. By the time they'd snapped out of it, they'd already helped them out a lot.
They're face-hugging parasites. I don't think their society's gonna be that hard to navigate. Okay, yeah, this might be a little harder than I thought.
The Glorzo weren't to be messed with. In a lot of ways, they were just like us humans. They were smart, had rules, culture, even politics. And they were obsessed with one thing: reproduction. It was a parody of the entire Alien franchise. When a Glorzo lays an egg, it kills them and the host. The host's abdomen literally bursts while laying the egg, and the Glorzo dies right after. Their whole species is built on suicidal childbirth.
Wait, so all you do is live half an hour, shit eggs, and die?
Yes, we love it. I'll do it right now.
Yikes. They said it hit close to home because in the 1800s and all the years before that, women often didn't survive childbirth. It was so bad they mentally prepared themselves to die before the baby came. It's little facts like this that make me glad I live in the 21st century. This has got to be one of the more painful ways to go, even in the Rick and Morty universe. Hell, we've just spent the last, nearly 30 minutes going through some pretty graphic ways to die. Even so, childbirth is said to be one of the most excruciating experiences anyone can go through, and to immediately explode afterwards and die? Talk about a horrific coupling of ideas. Imagine the worst labor pain ever, then crank it up by adding your entire abdomen violently bursting open with no relief and instant death. You'd feel insane pressure, tissue tearing, organs spilling out, massive bleeding, and nerve shock all at once. And that's not even mentioning the psychological trauma of being the host to this weird parasitic thing. The end result is full body collapse and pure agony until the moment you die.
Look away, Beth. Daddy loves you.
My ass! My ass!
This is it, Morty. It's full circle from the pilot. Full circle.
And that's a wrap on the video. Do you agree with the list? Since you made it to the end of the video, why not hit the like button and subscribe to the channel? Or you might just find yourself on the dinner table for a wasp family. Bzzz.